I'm Tracy Lord, though I suppose you know that. Any friend of Junius's is a friend of... So nice having you with us.
We're happy to be here.
It's a pleasure.
Too bad Junius couldn't be here. At least one male member of the family.
Where's your father?
Darling Papa. I do hope you'll stay for my wedding.
Yes, we'd like to.
That was more or less the idea.
The house is rather a mess, of course, but we'll try to make you as comfortable as... Oh, what a cunning little camera.
I take pictures with it.
Well, I hope you'll take loads. Dear Papa and Mama aren't allowing any reporters in except for little Mr. Grace who does the social news. Mr. Connor, can you imagine a grown-up man sinking so low?
No, it does seem pretty bad.
You're sort of a writer, aren't you, Mr. Connor?
Well, sort of.
A book? Under what name do you publish?
My own. Macaulay Connor. Just try and call me that.
I won't. What's the Macaulay for?
My father taught English history. I'm Mike to my friends.
Of whom you have many, I'm sure. English history. It's always fascinated me. Cromwell, Robin Hood, Jack the Ripper. Where did he teach? I mean your father.
In a high school in South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend. Sounds like dancing, doesn't it? And this is your first trip to Philadelphia. A quaint old place, don't you think? Odd customs and such, where the Scrapples eat bittle on Sunday. But then, you're still quite young.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm 30.
Really? One book isn't much for a man of 30. I don't mean to criticize. You've probably got other interests outside your work.
No, none. Well, unless...
Oh, how sweet. Are you two going together?
Well, sort of.
Engaged, I presume.
No.
But very much in love.
Well, isn't that a little personal?
Is it? But it's so very interesting, Miss Embry. Miss Embry, if a man says he loves a girl, don't you think he ought to marry her?
Hey, now, just a...
Please, Mr. Connor. I asked Miss Embry a question.
Well, it depends.
I'm disappointed, Miss Embry. I've been very frank with you. However, I'll send a butler to show you to your rooms. You'll join us, I hope, at the swimming pool.
Wow.
That's what I say. Who's interviewing whom?
Steady, old girl. Don't let it throw you.
You want to take over?
I want to go home. But, since I'm on the job, I'll settle for the swimming pool.
Then she came out. He wandered in.
Oh,
Mr. Connor.
Yes, you said to come down here. I didn't mean to interrupt your reading. Nothing important, I hope.
You bet. It's very important. It's your book.
Oh, I didn't know you had it.
Well, I didn't. I sent to the library for it.
Oh. You like it?
I like it very much. Especially the story called With the Rich and Mighty. I think I like that one best.
Really? I got the title from a Spanish peasant's proverb. With the rich and mighty, always a little patience.
I like that. Tell me something, will you, Connor? When you can write a book like this, how can you possibly do anything else?
Well, you'll never believe it, but there are people in this world who have to work for a living.
Yeah, of course, but people buy books, don't they?
Not if there's a library around. That book represents 2 solid years' work that netted Connor less than, well...
Oh, heck, that's Dexter. Look, stand by, will you, Connor? I don't want to be alone with him.
Well, there you are. Found you just where I thought you'd be.
Fancy seeing you here.
Orange juice? Certainly.
Don't tell me you've forsaken your beloved whiskey and whiskies.
No, but I think a pale pastel shade would be a better colour for me today. How about you, Mr. Connor? You drink, don't you? Alcohol, I mean.
A little.
A little. And you, a writer.
Dexter, will you do something for me?
Anything, Red, what?
Crawl into some small hole until after the wedding.
I couldn't do that. At least not until I...
Connor, don't miss a word. Don't miss a word. We're going to talk about me.
Why not? You find the subject fascinating. You're far and away your favourite person in the world. Of course, Mr. Connor, she's generous to a fault.
To a fault, Mr. Connor.
Except to other people's faults. For instance, to what used to be my deep and gorgeous thirst.
Disgusting.
A weakness, sure, and strength is your religion, well, when I realized I was not expected to be a loving husband and a good companion, but a kind of high priest to a virgin goddess,
Dexter, you...
well, then my drinks grew more frequent and deeper, that's all.
Connor, don't you let him make you think that... Why, he's gone.
I like him.
Dexter, what are you trying to make me out as?
Red, what do you fancy yourself as? What are you trying to do with this marriage to George? How can you even think of it?
George Kittredge is everything you're not. He's been poor and has had to work and he's had to fight for everything, and I love him as I never even began to love you.
Really? You really are in love?
Yes, I am, and you needn't sound so contemptuous.
I'm not, Red. Never of you. You could be the finest woman in the world if you could just learn to have some regard for human frailty. If only you'd slip a little sometime. But I guess that's hopeless. Your sense of inner divinity won't allow that. This goddess must and shall remain intact. This woman must represent her class, a special class, the married maidens.
So help me, Dexter, if you say another word...
Tracy? Darling, you there by the pool?
George!
That's the new high priest. I'll run along. Here, Red, I brought you a little wedding present. Sorry I had no ribbon to wrap it up with. So long, Red.
A present? I wonder what... Oh.
There you are, my dear. I thought I'd run over and... Tracy, aren't you going to say hello?
Yeah. Hello, George.
What's that you've got?
Oh, a wedding present. From Dext. A picture of the true love. We sailed her up the coast of Maine and back the summer we were married. My, she was yar.
Yar? What's that?
It means, easy to handle, quick to the helm, fast, bright, everything a boat should be. Until it develops dry rot. Oh, George.
There now. He'll not upset you anymore. He never appreciated you anyway. How could he? Anyone as wonderful as you?
George.
That's what I've always thought. From the first time I saw you. You're like some marvelous, distant, queen, I guess. There's a kind of beautiful purity about you.
George.
It's what everyone feels. They worship you, darling.
George, listen. I don't want to be worshipped. I want to be loved.
Oh, you're that too.
I mean, really loved.
Of course. And now I'll have to hurry, darling. Big party tonight, you know. I'll pick you up around 9.
Well, Connor? Hey, Connor, are you around here somewhere?
Yeah, here in the dressing room. Were you calling me?
Yes, I was. Connor, do you ever take a drink?
A drink? Oh, yes. Yes, sometimes.
Well, that's good. Let's go in and open a bottle of champagne.